Welcome back to Hawaii Stars Kama'aina Business Success Stories. Linda Holt is a happy free spirit with an incredible business sense.
Wow, today, Jeans Warehouse has 22 stores statewide with hundreds of employees. It is also a 100% employee-owned company.
So Jeans Warehouse is a value-priced concept. Now, more specifically, we're off-price. An off-price retailer doesn't go to the mart, they go to the factory, to the warehouse, and they say, what do you have that you want to get rid of? So the manufacturer might have a bunch of tops that he made for, let's say, Liberty House, but Liberty House canceled them. And so he says, I'll sell you those at, a percentage off from the line price. So that's basically what off-price is. You're buying goods that are already made and that you're buying them at a lower price because the manufacturer really just wants to get rid of them. So that's how Jeans Warehouse started, and that's what Jeans Warehouse does today.
40 years ago and 20 stores later, Linda's taste for retail really started in Mexico.
I was from Seattle, and I traveled to Mexico for my first year of college. There was all kinds of beautiful handcrafted things, blouses and hand-knit sweaters. And so I thought I could buy this and take it back to Seattle and sell it. I didn't have money for a store, so I sold at street fairs, which are typical in the summer months in Seattle. I sold a lot of stuff, and I was able at the end of that 3-month summer to buy a new Toyota Corolla with my earnings that I made. So that was sort of my first experience at being an entrepreneur.
Linda would go on to get her nursing degree from the University of Washington, but soon would travel to a place that would eventually become her home.
I went on a vacation with my mother and her best friend and came to Hawaii for 2 weeks. And I was like, wow. I just fell in love with this place. I couldn't believe it. And so at the end of the 2 weeks, my mom and her friend went home, and I said, I'm going to stay here.
From opening her first store in the Ward Warehouse to locations all across the state, Jeans Warehouse grew.
Working with Linda she was very passionate about the business, always carefree, so I just always looked up to her as like, wow.
I don't have kids, so, a succession plan was important to me because a lot of people worked really hard for a lot of years for Jeans Warehouse to grow into what it is today. I didn't want to sell it to a mainland national chain because I knew they would eliminate all of the administrative positions, the buying positions, and consolidate it with their mainland firm. So I did an ESOP.
An ESOP plan is basically a form of a retirement plan that companies can use for the owner can sell off their stock into a trust. The employees in turn will put in their time at the companies between 5 to 6 years where they become vested and start earning some of the shares of the stock. And basically, as the retirement plan component is when they decide to leave or retire, the company will purchase back the stock, and that's like an annuity for them.
I went to ASB, and they were just wonderful, and I just loved them for what they did. They took a chance, they financed the deal, and it actually became a win-win-win. It was a win for me, a win for Jeans Warehouse employees, and a win for ASB.
Jeans Warehouse is a local company, and our buyers buy exclusively for the people of Hawaii. One of our strengths at Jeans Warehouse is our locations are within the communities. We have stores in Waianae, we have stores in Laie, as well as Parker Ranch on the Big Island. The biggest thing is because Jeans Warehouse, we understand the local customer and we buy for their needs.
It's become difficult to be a sole proprietor, an entrepreneur, but I think still today there are niches in our market, and there are things that people want that they can't get here still. And so I think if a person wants to be here and have a business, there's a lot of opportunity. And so what I would advise would be to really be aware of where the pukas are. You know, what are the niches? What are the things that you think we need that we don't have? And start with something like that, because that's going to give you a real foot up for being successful. And something that you enjoy and gives you passion, because it's really not about making money, it's about following your passion and doing a really good job at that passion, and then the money comes as a byproduct. You'll be successful if you follow your passion.